Hello, 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 my beautiful people. How are we doing today? Welcome back to the podcast. As always, it's your girl, Adri. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever it is that you're listening to this, I hope everyone's having a lovely day so far. Welcome back. I think this is my first time in a couple weeks. Not even, no. This is my first time in a couple weeks recording with Brian, like a video. For those of you listening on Apple or Spotify, I have a video version of this going up as well. So it's my first time in a couple weeks recording by myself in front of the camera, because I've done a couple weeks by myself without Brian, but that's okay. We're working out, a situation to do this podcast. So today's episode is going to consist of me answering Ask Adri, like advice situations. Like I posted on my story this morning, asking like what people need advice on, like give me your situation. Here's a link to post anonymously if you need to. And yeah, I'm just going to be going through, giving y'all some advice, some words of wisdom, because that's what I like this podcast to be originally about, is just me spilling my thoughts and opinions and things that I consider words of wisdom for you guys. So before we get rolling into that, I want to give you a little recap of the last week of my life. So last week's episode was with Sergio, you guys. Actually, I never promoted that episode on my story. So hopefully most of you guys listened to the episode with Sergio, but, yeah, episode with Sergio, and then we went to Miami that weekend with the Better brand, formerly known as the GBT, the Get Better Today brand, with Russ and everyone that works with the brand. Bella coordinated a pop-up like meet and greet event at Paradise Gym down in Miami, where all the athletes were able to go, or majority of the athletes were able to go, and people were able to go in and meet the athletes, meet Russ, meet the employees and everything. And it was a very, very big success. So shout out to Bella for that. It was a lot of fun. The entire Miami trip in general was super fun. It was incredible being with such a great group of people. And it was just a very humbling weekend, I think. It was great to be surrounded by so many people that are just, in my industry, like the people that I literally see and train with literally every day, like Russ and everyone. But then to go to the Paradise Gym event and then have people, I wasn't an athlete, I wasn't part, or I'm not part of, the group of people that were there for the meet and greet situation. There are people that were on the fucking poster that were saying, Cranon's going to be here, Christian Swole's going to be there, Mags, Weeze, all these people, right? I wasn't one of those people, but I just showed up to help Bella with the event, to just be with the group. And people were still coming up to me, telling me, oh my God, I love you so much. I watch your content, asking me to sign belts, sign shirts, sign shoes, and to not even be I think I promoted the event twice on my story, right? So for people to just be so happy to see me, happy to meet me, even though I wasn't even part of officially part of the event, meant a lot to me for sure. And it just shows I guess the impact that I have on the internet and the impact that I have for this community, this niche of people on the internet. So if you were someone at that event, thank you for coming out, showing so much love to me and to everyone on the team. And make sure you go to Bitsy Bella's Instagram and you thank her for putting together such an incredible event. So we were there in Miami from Thursday, midday-ish, till me and Joel got back early Monday morning. We flew back at literally 6:45 in the morning, landed at almost 9 or so, and then we just stayed in. I slept for 2 hours. We literally got back to my apartment. I ate something, edited half of a reel, and then took a 2-hour nap. I took a nap in my bed and then came out here to the couch where Joel was sitting here working, and then took another version of a nap, just laid right here and just continued sleeping. But yeah, Monday was pretty much just a catch up on everything day, just eating and getting ahead of, or, catching up on client stuff. I went and got groceries. I went to Ulta, picked up a few things I needed, and then we went to go train. So nothing changed for me this week. I ended up doing my Monday day as normal. So my training has gone as normal this week, which is good. I didn't give myself any excuse. I almost considered pushing my Monday to Tuesday, but hey, I pushed through, and it was actually a very good session. So I'm currently on week 4 of my official off-season block. So it's been about a month since I competed, right? Week 4, about a month. since I last competed, or, since my second meet, since when I competed. And we've done a lot of growing already. Looking back to my first, because right now I'm doing top sets of 4. So my heaviest sets are with 4 reps basically. And the heaviest numbers that I was doing for my first block where I did sets of 4 back in January, for example, let me try to break this down. So on Tuesday, yesterday, I had pause squats, right? So I had a top set of 4 pause squats at an RPE 8. So the last time that I did top set of 4 pause squats back in January, I finished that block with 275 pounds that I did for 4 paused squats, right? Yesterday, I did 308 pounds for 4 paused squats at the same RPE. So I went from an RPE 8 being 275 for 4 to 308 being RPE 8 for 4. So I pretty much grew my squat 30 plus pounds in a matter of 5 months. So I don't remember what I hit for a regular set of a regular top set of 4. It was probably 292 or something like that. Probably, I don't think it was 300, but I'm looking to hit 330 or so, maybe a little more on Friday when I hit a top set of 4, regular squats, not paused. So we'll see how that goes, but basically it goes to show just how much I've actually grown in between my first off season and now. And that's what's fun about powerlifting is seeing, strategically seeing the programming and comparing it to the last time that I did similar programming and seeing literally just how much my numbers have blown up. But yeah, I got a little off track there. But basically, yeah, that's what's going on with my training right now. Tomorrow's a rest day, which is great. And yeah, that's pretty much been the past week for me. Let me put my stuff on Do Not Disturb just so no one disturbs me. Even though no one's texting me right now, but it's okay. So I think we're good to hop into the Ask Adri situation, which I'm a little excited about because I've scanned through and I have a couple of good things, and I think I'm even going to sit here and answer gym type questions because I normally don't like answering gym questions on the podcast, but I'm going to just so we have plenty of content to go through and just so you guys, or just so I can say that I did it and that I'm not, fully ignoring everyone that asked me a gym question. Let me fix my hair. Okay, first question that I received on Instagram is from Ben motherfucking Helland. Did you ever meet Ben? Ben Helland, the little 18-year-old blonde tall kid, fucking 6 foot plus. He was hanging out a lot at Corrupted, but I know he would hang out at Alpha Land a lot also. He was a kid that was here for literally a month, literally 18. He was here for a month. He shot a lot with the Corrupted people, with Russ and everyone.
You have the Polaroids?
Polaroids, I don't know.
There's a guy that took photos of me.
I don't know. But anyways, he is hopefully moving to Houston soon, but he's literally 18. He had to go back to South Dakota where he's from. And now he's trying to convince his parents to let him move here.
By himself?
By himself, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. He was super cool though, but he's doing the photography, videography and everything. Yeah, that's why I asked if you met him. I'm sure you'd seen him. I'm sure you saw him around. I'll show you when we're done here, yeah. But anyway, so Ben was the first person to ask me something. He asked how to get bitches and then sent another message and said females, not bitches. Shout out Ben. I'm sure all you have to do is move to Houston, Ben, to get your females. Good luck with that. Okay, first serious question. Thank you, Ben. This girl, Julie Tran, asked me start of powerlifting career. So I guess, I asked what do you need advice on? And she asked, how to start your powerlifting career. So the biggest thing that I can say for getting into powerlifting specifically is to hire a coach. Because even if you go about doing a random program that you find online, a powerlifting program, whether it be Jamal Browner's program, or I don't know if Russ has one, but any program that a powerlifter could write you, that's just a generic, 12-week strength program, whatever, those are fine. But getting a coach makes such a difference in your performance and your training, because when you're just sitting there reading, a printed PDF that's literally copied and pasted that thousands of other people are probably using as well, it's not tailored and it's not specific to you. And that's the thing about powerlifting, that it's similar to bodybuilding, where it can get very, very individualized and very, very personalized. So like you shouldn't have the exact same programming that someone else has, because you have different strengths, different weaknesses, different points of fatigue, different lifts that are harder than others. So having a coach will help you identify all those things, and they will literally write your program to highlight those things and to help you go about, those aspects of your training. So again, biggest thing I say is to get a fucking coach, because if you want to develop like a career in this and you want to be serious about competing or, taking it to a competitive level, whatever it might be, those are investments that you have to make for that sort of career. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want to be a fucking doctor, you're going to invest in going to school. Like obviously it's not going to be that serious, but if you have specific goals within the sport, or even if you just want to try it out, again, you don't have to sit here and want to be like a competitor at like a national level or like a world level or anything, but even if you just want to try it out, just hire a coach for like a month or two. Don't do it for a month. Do it for at least 3 months, because you're not going to start getting results and start seeing progress how you want until probably the 2 or 3 month mark. So don't do it for just a month, because you're going to waste your time and your money and your coach's time and effort. Don't do that. That's fucking annoying. As a coach, that's fucking annoying. But yeah, definitely get a coach. I was gonna say something else with that. Oh, also because it can just help you not only identify like your strengths and weaknesses and give you like a more personalized program, but also because they will help you push you in ways that you're not able to push yourself. They can look at you from like an outside, like unbiased perspective and tell you like, obviously it's going to be different for like bodybuilding with like how a coach can talk to you and like tell you things about your training. But with powerlifting, like for example, if I have like a top single at like an RPE 8, right, for squat, and I hit, my squat that in my head, I'm like, oh, that felt like an RPE 8. Like I look at the video and I'm like, okay, I think that's an RPE 8. If I send it to my coach and my coach responds right away and looks at it and says like, that was like an RPE 6, you need to put more fucking weight on the bar and go up type of thing. Versus if I had just hit that number based on like the fucking PDF that I bought from some website, and no one was there to watch a video of me and tell me if I did well or not. In my head, I'm like, yeah, that was an RPE 8, and like I'd be done right there. But with the coach watching the video being like, no, that was not an RPE 8, you need to go up type of thing. So even that right there, like they're going to push you in ways that you're not able to determine like how to push yourself, if that makes sense. I always give like such long-winded answers to these questions. How to start your powerlifting career, hire a coach, point blank period. Thank you very much. Next thing, social anxiety. I can't really answer this question on like a very personalized level, because I don't have social anxiety, but things that I believe can help, or that, may have helped me in the past with like an uncomfortable situation or something like that, is honestly, like just, okay, I feel like they're different things what I'm thinking about right now, because I said uncomfortable situation. I was going to say removing myself from the uncomfortable situation. But with social anxiety, you have to just remember that, I've said this before, you're not as important as your brain makes you think that you are. And that's kind of like a harsh thing to say, like me telling you like you're not as fucking important as you think that you are. But when you sit down and think about it, like it's true, right? Take the example of walking into the gym, whether you're new or whether you're experiencing going to a new gym or something like that, right? People aren't going to just turn their heads and start staring at you going through your entire workout, right? They might, especially if it's like a small gym, like Corrupted Strength or something, like we'll note, like I notice when like a new face walks into the gym and I'm like, okay, I've never seen that person before. They're probably a day pass or whatever. But I'm not going to sit there and stare at them throughout the entire workout, because I'm just going to continue minding my own damn business and going about my life, because that person is not important to me. You know what I mean? So you kind of just have to keep reiterating that to yourself, basically, that like you're not important to other people in that way, like other people that you don't, like strangers, right? You're not important. A stranger is not important to another stranger, basically. And you're not as important as you think you are, and people aren't paying attention to you in the way that your brain is making it out to be, if that makes sense. So once you get over that, and then go along with like another thing that I say is that like confidence is key in these types of situations, where you can trick your brain into being confident, and it's just a game of fake it till you make it. So when you think about entering a situation or being in a situation that's going to give you social anxiety, remember these two things. Fake your confidence until you make it, and you're not as important as you think you are. When you combine those two, you're straight. Like, you're green, you're set for life with that. Slay. Next thing, what can I do for hamstrings? I already do RDL, deads, and curls. Train harder. Those are like the biggest primary movements that you can do for hamstrings. Any like hip hinge variation, like an RDL. Deadlifts aren't good for hamstrings. Also, let me just add that. Conventional deadlifts don't target your hamstrings at all. Conventional deadlifts are going to target your glutes and your quads. They're not going to target your hamstrings. So RDLs, B-stance RDLs, dumbbell RDLs, barbell RDLs, leg curls, lying and seated leg curls. And yeah, any like hip hinge motion like that is going to target your hamstrings. Slay. And if you don't see development or don't see, progress in them, train harder, get on top of your eating, get on top of your sleep and your water intake, and then come back to me and let me know what's going on. Next question, how to grow on Instagram. Like I said, you guys, I'm just literally going to answer every single question. So some of these I would normally skip, like the question, how to grow on Instagram, but I'm going to sit here and answer it just so we can continue talking, How to grow on Instagram is continue fucking posting. So let's go to this. I'm not going to share the person who it is, but, oh, she follows me. Oh my God, she's so cute. Oh my God, I love her. So basically, the way to post on Instagram, okay, you know what? She does a good job. This is good. The biggest thing with posting on Instagram, you know what? I'm going to hit her with a follow. Slay. The biggest thing to growing on Instagram is to just be consistent. It's the same thing with any social media platform, with YouTube, with TikTok, with Instagram, whatever it might be, is to just continue posting, continue being active on your account. That, and I would say just branching off on multiple accounts or like multiple platforms, such as if you have a TikTok, make sure you have an Instagram. If you have an Instagram, make sure you have a TikTok. And if one video blows up on one, it will kind of lead into blowing up on the other one, or like lead into some traction, like following traction on the other one. But it's really just a matter of continuing to post and continuing to be active. Like, it's that simple. I recently got to 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I haven't made like a big deal out of it because I'm afraid of the number going down as soon as I post, about it on Instagram. But I recently did hit 100,000 followers. So if you're one of those 100,000, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. I just didn't want to like jinx myself and have the number go down to like 99.9 as soon as I posted something about it. But, yeah, that process has been 3 years in the making, I think. 3 years in the making since I started this Instagram. And it's just me posting literally all the time on my story, at least on my story every day. If not like a feed post, whether it's a reel or a picture, a couple times a week. So just continue being active, continue posting, and it'll come with time. And obviously just posting like relevant content, right? Like, you don't want to just post to post, but like post content, especially when you're starting off, it's really important to post content that strangers on the internet can relate to or will find like use out of. Because when you first start off, a stranger isn't going to care about another stranger's like day in the life vlog. So you have to post like relevant not even informational, but like content that like another stranger can like find value in. Because as a stranger, I'm not going to watch another stranger's day in the life vlog. No offense. You know what I mean? Because that's just not something that I can relate to, or like, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know what you do. I don't know who you are. Like, why would I take the time to do this if I don't, fuck with you or even know who you are? So that's a big thing, because that's how I started my like fitness Instagram. Like, the second Instagram that I have is from posting just like progress pictures. Here's my workout that I did today. Here's my transformation from this to that, whatever. So posting relevant content that other strangers can use, where it's not like super personalized, but it's also showing my personality along with my relevant content that people can use. I hope that makes sense. I'm already at 20 minutes and I've only answered like 3 questions. Okay, next person asked, your confidence, how do you do it? I have a whole separate podcast on confidence, but little summary, I'm just going to try to keep these a little quick. Summary for confidence is, again, fake it till you fucking make it. Like I said, I go about this in my other podcast. I'll probably link it down below when you guys listen to this. But faking it till you make it is a really big thing. Even though I don't think I ever had a period of my life where I had to like fake my confidence, that is how what I tell other people to do is like, no one knows if your confidence is fake or if it's real. So that's just how you have to play the game, honestly. And then once you get to the point of faking it pretty consistently, like if you can continue faking it pretty consistently, like it'll eventually just become real, is what I say. Another thing that helps with confidence is treating yourself how you would treat like your best friend or like a sibling or like a pet, and not like degrading yourself, not being mean to yourself, little things like that. Because little things like telling yourself I'm so fat and ugly, like why did I wake up looking this bad, whatever, like those things can manifest themselves into like a reality, and you don't want to be doing that. Like you want to treat yourself with kindness and with love, the same kindness and love and appreciation that you would show someone that you love in your life, and that all will circle back into continuing to uplift yourself, which will continuing to uplift yourself will lead into feeling better about yourself, which will lead into being confident in yourself. You know what I mean? So it's a giant like spiral, a giant cycle. But hey, what do I know? Okay, dealing with negativity and not letting it affect you. Dealing with negativity, especially as like a social media, personality, is part of the fucking job, unfortunately. But I think, I've gotten to the point where like I'm confident in what I post, confident in myself enough to just be a troll right back to like negative comments that I get. So again, if you have to, I always say you have to have really thick skin, especially in this industry. And a layer of that thick skin comes from being confident in yourself, because how am I going to sit here and be confident in what I post and in my body image and everything, and then, have to deal with all this hate and this backlash, whatever, which I haven't gotten a lot of hate recently. I think I got one comment the other day on like those sundress pictures I posted on Instagram, and someone said like, because I think I captioned it. What did I caption it? I said like, I'm that girl. And someone commented, of course, also you have to know that like the people that comment these things are either like looking for a reaction out of you, or like if you respond back, they'll be like, oh, I'm just kidding, blah, blah, blah. Or they're completely faceless, like literally no name, no profile picture, where it's like you don't even have to waste your time, because it's probably some fat and ugly person. That's mean. But you know what? There's probably some fat and ugly loser sitting in their fucking mom's basement or some shit like that, who has to formulate these opinions, especially on like, women on the internet. Where I got one comment on the sundress picture that I posted on Instagram the other day, saying something like, oh yeah, like you're that girl with like the hairy arms and the pimply face and some shit like that. And I was like, please post a picture of yourself. Like, again, no profile picture, no fucking real name either. I think I just left one silly comment in response to him, and then just fully deleted the comment. So again, being confident in yourself helps with dealing with negativity like that, because I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in everything that I post. And if people don't like it, that's their own fucking problem. That's literally not mine. So yeah. Okay. Next question, Brian, listen to this. Telling my wife I want a divorce. How the fuck do I give advice on that?
My parents are divorced.
Okay, well, I've never been through a situation of like putting someone through a divorce, so I would just say you have to just communicate. They're asking for advice on how to tell the wife they want a divorce. exactly. Yeah, I don't know that.
What you don't do is you get in a relationship, then you get a divorce. Divorce first, then get a relationship.
Oh, correct. Yeah, like don't cheat. Yeah, like get the divorce and then pursue someone new. Correct. Yeah, like get a divorce and then pursue someone new. But yeah, communicate, because that's what you need to do. If you're old enough to be getting married and to be in a relationship like that, you're old enough to communicate about your feelings and get a damn divorce. Sorry. Should you hit up your gym crush that didn't work out? As in like a sneaky, like, oh my God, where are you? Like a text like that. I would say no. That's kind of annoying. Right? Well, the question is, should you hit up your gym crush that didn't work out? Is that like a one, you know what I mean? Like a one day thing, like, hey, where are you? Type of thing? Or like, that's how I interpreted that.
That didn't work out?
That didn't work out.
Or hit them up like they haven't hit a workout yet and you hit them up.
Right. Or didn't work out as in like the relationship didn't work out. See, I don't know. There's too many questions within this question. Okay. If your gym crush doesn't come to the gym one day, I would not text them, hey, where are you? That's a little corny. That's a little weird to me. Not even weird, but especially, it just depends on like the level of relationship. I hope I'm interpreting this the right way. Yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. I would say don't hit them up. No. How to build your confidence back when people bring you down. Again, same thing. Work on your own self-confidence and get it to the point where people's people's opinions about you just stop fully mattering. The only opinions of people that you should care about are the people that are close to you and that like actually know who you are and care about you. But like especially random fucking strangers on the internet, you should not be concerned about them. Do not concern yourself. Setting goals and achieving them. This is like a whole podcast in and of itself. So long story short, with setting goals is you have to make SMART goals. SMART is like an acronym that I'm not fully sure. I forgot what it stands for, but it's something like something S, manageable, attainable, R, I don't know, T, I don't know. But basically you have to have like, you need to be very specific with your goals, right? Like put like a time or like a duration of time or like an amount of time behind it, a specific objective, make it like a numerical type of goal, make it fucking realistic, make it attainable and measurable, I think is the M. Like attainable quantitative goals are like the best types of goals because they're very specific, right? So if my goal is to say like, okay, I'll give you an example of a good goal and a bad goal. A bad goal to set would be like, I want to have a heavier deadlift. That's it. Like by when, what does heavier deadlift consist of, in how much time? Like there's too many questions left unanswered. But if I say I want to put 30 pounds on my deadlift by my birthday, November 19th, like that's a pretty good goal. That's also pretty realistic. Like I could probably put up 30 pounds. I could probably put 30 pounds on my deadlift. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make that a goal for myself. I'm going to put 30 pounds on my deadlift by November 19th. We'll see. But little things like that. If you're like a runner, right? Like I want to hit a 7-minute mile in, within 6 months of training, right? Something like that, right? And you're going to do that. And then you have to lay out the plan behind it. You're going to do your 7-minute mile by running, a full mile 3 times a week, something like that, right? So you have to have your goal and then you have to have like your plan behind it. So that's how you go about setting goals and attaining them or achieving them. Okay, self-confidence, again, same thing. I'm going to link the podcast episode because it's literally a 45-minute episode on confidence. What do you do when feeling guilty after skipping gym day? My guilt eats me up because of body dysmorphia. Me personally, I look forward to my rest days like no other. Like I am so excited to rest tomorrow because I feel like my rest days, at least for me, the gym takes up literally an entire like quarter of my day. And resting for me just gives me like my rest days are like my errand, like my work from home days, basically. Like I have so much laundry to do. I have laundry sitting in my dryer from before Miami. I have my entire suitcase I still have to unpack and then throw into the washer. Just have way too many things to do, and I can't do them, or like I can't make myself or put myself to do them on days that I train. We good? Slay. I can't put myself to do them on days that I train, so I am personally very excited to be resting tomorrow. So think about that. I mean, aside from, catching up on other aspects of your life on your rest days, you just have to remember that, like, biologically, like, your muscles need rest and recovery to grow. And all of that happens, like, on days that you don't go to the gym. So continue eating the same amount of food that you eat on your gym days. Drink the same amount of water, go on a walk, something to keep yourself active. But I've had girls come to me for training or for coaching and be like, yeah, right now I go to the gym 7 days a week, every day. I do cardio every day too. I train every day. And I'm like, why? Like I train 4 times a week and I'm so happy with 4 times a week. So again, you get to the point, I think, in like your fitness and like health journey that like you look forward to your rest days. But until you get to that point, you have to just keep in mind that, sorry, I just read a text. I just completely drew a blank. Get to the point where you're comfortable with your rest days by reminding yourself that like your rest days are necessary for muscle growth and for hypertrophy. That's pretty much that. Will you be in Memphis just to watch/support? I'm assuming this means like for nationals, like powerlifting, USAPL nationals. I don't think so. It's in September, right? I haven't thought about that. Are you going to nationals? In September, yeah. You going for anyone in Memphis?
Who's going to nationals?
I don't know. Cranon's not going, I know. I don't know.
I know that would go to nationals is Joy.
Not even. Wait, Joy? Like New York Joy?
I don't know where she's from.
Like the little girl on the internet with like 1 million followers on TikTok?
She's not little.
Is she from here?
Like, where's your Texas?
Like Houston. She's living in Houston, right? I think we're probably talking about the same person. She competes in the IPF though. She wouldn't even be going to USAPL Nationals. She's going to Worlds in like 6 weeks.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't think so because I don't even think that Russ is competing in nationals this year. I've heard some stuff. Don't quote me on that. But I don't think that Russ is competing in nationals, so I don't think I'm going to have a big reason to go to Memphis, honestly. I'll probably just live stream it because no one in like my close inner circle is going to be going and competing, so there's not a lot of reason for me to spend that money and go, unfortunately. But next year, it is a goal for myself to make it to nationals for next year, so we'll see about next year. Okay, next. I've been training for 2 years and I see little to no progress, and I love the gym, but it's just making me sad and frustrated now. I feel chunkier. Can you please give some advice to that? I press send before I finish the second part. Okay, a couple things here. With going to the gym for 2 years, you have to place, again, goals with your gym journey, right? Because when I started my fitness journey, I don't think I had very many goals. Like I would just go to train and I knew to like progressively overload, and I knew that that would help me, on a week to week basis, but I didn't like track my food. I didn't start tracking my food until last year. And I started going to the gym in January of this year. It'll be 5 years, or January of next year, it'll be 5 years since I've started going to the gym. But you have to break it down to yourself and think like, what goals are you looking for? And does the effort and energy that you put into your training match the goals that you want, right? So for example, so you're saying you feel chunkier, whatever, like first question I ask, are you tracking your food? Because if you're feeling chunky, maybe, you're growing, you find yourself growing, and you don't want to be growing, right? So I'm going to ask you, are you tracking your food? Oh, no, I'm not tracking my food. I think it's going to make me this, and that. Like, okay, well, there's your problem right there. I did a whole episode on tracking macros and how I got over the fear of tracking my macros a couple episodes ago. I will probably link it down below as well, so go looking for that. But again, yeah, are you tracking your macros? Is that something that is, important enough to you? Because if you have physique type goals, you basically need to be tracking your macros, unfortunately. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear that 2 years ago, but it has made such a world of a difference to know what my macros are and to hit them on a consistent basis. So if your goals are like leaning out, filling out, like growing, shrinking, whatever it might be, you need to be tracking your macros basically. So yeah, overall, like the biggest thing is just analyzing yourself and evaluating, like, does my effort that I put into my fitness lifestyle match the goals that I want? Because a lot of people I've seen on the internet right now posting about how like balance isn't a thing when you have specific goals you want to hit. And I honestly agree with that, because I'm in the phase of my life right now where I'm in like my powerlifting off season. I don't have very many, like I have strength goals I want to hit, but I don't have very many physique goals, even though, Kelly wants me to cut 5 pounds. So I'm probably going to get a little strict on the macros because I kind of want to get down 5 pounds too, just so we can see what we sit at right at like the cap of my weight class, because surprise, I'm back to like 170 pounds after my Miami trip. So if you guys obviously kept up with me, you know that I had to cut a little bit for my meet to get under 165 pounds. So we want to cut back down to 165 pounds and get consistent with my food so I can sit at about 165 and like see how my body continues feeling and like training like that. So I will be getting back on my macro shit, basically, is what I'm saying. Because again, like I have, oh my God, I think I just flashed the camera. I think I just flashed the camera. I went, there's like a crop jacket and I lifted my arm up. It's okay. The pillow's covering it, it's okay. But yeah, so your effort that you put into your fitness lifestyle has to match the goals, or like your goals have to match the effort, basically. I saw this other post on Instagram the other day that was like powerlifting related, where it said like, if you have a client, or like if you're the type of person that says like, I want to go to Raw Nationals, I want to put this much on my total, I want to hit this number, hit that. But then in the same sentence, you tell your coach like, oh, I couldn't make it to the gym this week, or oh, I didn't do my accessories, or oh, I overshot my RPE, or oh, I undershot my RPE. If you make all these excuses for yourself, but you have all of these goals for yourself, like the two can't go in the same sentence, basically. Because again, the effort that you put in, or like the goals have to match the effort, and the same, like vice versa. The effort has to match the goals. If you have high goals, you have to have high effort. If you have mediocre goals, you can give mediocre effort, but what the fuck is the point of mediocre goals and mediocre effort? So I'm gonna leave it at that. That was a slay. See, that's a reel right there. Slay. Okay, I think we're finishing up on Instagram. The last couple things are kind of repetitive. Best advice for someone wanting to pursue powerlifting: get a coach. How to build muscle faster. Train like your life depends on it. Eat like a motherfucker. And track your macros. Like, don't just eat like an asshole and be eating like empty calories like McDonald's and like gross shit, but like track your food, put yourself into a bulk, and break down your carbs, fats, and proteins, and eat in excess of those in like whole foods. And yeah, that's how you put muscle on. There's no specific diet. There's no specific like food. Like people are always asking like, what's the best food for cutting? What's the best food for bulking? You can bulk and cut on like the same 5 meals. Like if you picked 5 meals out and ate that for like your entire cutting season, you can eat those same 5 meals for your bulking season. You just have to add more of those meals. So if I eat like my breakfast sandwich, right, which is like eggs, bacon, potatoes, and a bagel, basically, I can eat that for breakfast, and then for lunch I'll have like chicken and rice, and for dinner like pasta and beef, let's say, right, just to keep it simple, those 3 meals. And I can cut on those meals. Like you can cut while eating bagels and pasta and rice and all of the above, right? I can cut on all those meals as long as they're under my maintenance calories And then when I go into a bulking or growing season, I can bulk on those same 3 meals. I just have to add more to those meals. So I can add more potatoes, more rice, more beef, more pasta. And that puts me in a surplus, which will help me gain weight, which will put me in a bulk. So yeah, in case you needed a lesson on that, there's no food to like grow or cut. It's just how much food are you eating. Okay, that wraps it up for Instagram questions. We are going to go through and do some Google questions, or these are like the like Google form submissions that I do. Let me fix this. Okay. So these are the Google form submissions that I do for those people that might want to leave me like an anonymous question. So we're just gonna go through these real quick. Okay. Okay, first person, this is really quick. Favorite gym fit, it's pay week, so I'm looking for new bras and shorts. I know Gymshark just launched like a new line of clothing. I know the athletes, because remember, I'm not an athlete. I hope you guys know this. I'm just on the creator program, but they just dropped a new line that the athletes have been wearing. I believe it's like the Fleck collection. It's like this royal blue. It's literally this color. Like a gorgeous royal blue that I need to get my hands on. But yeah, if you shop Gymshark, remember to use code Adri for 10% off so that one day I can become an athlete. Thank you very much. Okay, next question. This is from Jocelyn. Jocelyn's like a very loyal follower of mine. Thank you, Jocelyn. I love all the effort you always put into my content. Okay, she says, I have a lot I usually do, but I try not to overwhelm you with so many questions. Here I go. Okay, we're going to go question by question. Would you ever be a person who hits their gym workout at 5, 6 a.m.? Definitely not. Because I make my breakfast, like my breakfast before my training is a non-essential, or not a non-essential, a non-negotiable. So unless I'm waking up at 4 a.m. to make my breakfast, I'm not going to be hitting the gym at 5, 6 a.m. Because right now I could put that into my schedule, but like there's no fun in that. Like I go to the gym right now around noon so I can see my friends, and so I have time in the morning to also go on a walk. Like A, go on a walk, and B, eat my entire thing of breakfast, and then chillax for like 10, 15 minutes to like an hour, depending on the day. And then go about, the rest of my day after I go to the gym. So yeah, no, not 5, 6 a.m. Definitely not. Are you okay with Joel having girlfriends, like a friendship? Yes. I'm like iffy, not like iffy about this, but it's kind of weird to be in a relationship, I think. It's weird. Okay, because I'm trying to think of like our current like lifestyle, right? Because like we've made new friends since being together, and like I've made like new guy friends, like Sergio and Mo, right? Like Sergio and Mo are like new friends of mine that I've made since being with Joel, but they're also his friends. So I think that's what the difference is, because I was gonna say that it would be weird for either one of us to make like new opposite gender friends without them being friends with the other person, if that makes sense. Like it would be weird for me to just become friends with like a new guy and like him not know who Joel is. Same thing with him. It would be weird for him to make a new girlfriend, quote unquote friend that's a girl, and her not be my friend either. So the fact that if it's like a group, like, and the two of us become friends with that new person, or, it just doesn't happen at all. That's where I would think it's weird. So yes, Joel can have friends that are girls. I can have friends that are guys, but it makes the most sense, I feel like, for if they're like a new friend, for us both to be friends with them, if that makes sense. When do you go to bed? I go to bed between 11 to like 1-ish. 11 to 1 is like my prime time. 11 on good days. Reason you left your previous apartment other than wanting to be closer to Corrupted? Not really, no. I mean, closer to Corrupted and then closer to just the people around me. Like Joel lives 15 minutes down the road, Corrupted, and then like all my friends pretty much live down in this area. So just be closer to like everyone, really. And like I thought that I would miss, I thought that I would miss living up in like the Galleria area, but like I really don't. I realized since moving down here that like I go to the gym and literally don't leave the house after that. Like I will go run errands. And I hate going to the mall. Like, it's not like I frequented the Galleria Mall all the time. I went the other day and it fucking stressed me out. I literally hated it. So yeah, I realized that I literally don't leave the house, so I don't really necessarily miss being up in that area. Have you ever had a fallout in a friendship? If so, did you think about the friendship? Did you ever reach out to that person? Probably like high school friendships. I've had a couple bitches from high school like literally not like me, which is crazy. And no, I never reached back out because those are just salty, insecure girls that I just didn't need to waste my time on. What's the one thing we won't believe that has happened to you? I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty open book. Oh, that is cute. One thing you won't believe has happened to me. I'm a pretty open book. I feel like you guys know everything about me. I'm gonna have to come back to that one because I can't think of anything right now. Okay, we're gonna go to the next set of questions from like another person. This is from Tony. He says, so I'm single, but a friend of mine who is taken claims me as hers. How should I take that? That sounds so fucking messy.
Toxic red flag.
Yeah, I would just say that's toxic. That's a red flag. I would not pay any attention to that, honestly. You don't want to be a part of that at all. It's like getting with someone. It's like being the person that someone cheats on their partner with, and then the person leaves their partner and goes to you, and it's you thinking that they're not going to cheat on you to do the same thing that you did with them, if that makes sense. So that's just silly. That's very dumb. Because if they cheated on one person with you, they're going to cheat on you with another person. Guaranteed. Yeah, you're literally not the only one. Do you feel you get more or less accomplished with a bestie at the gym? See, it like depends because I don't train like side by side with anyone right now. Like even with like all the friends that I have at Corrupted, like we don't sit there and train next to each other or be doing like the same exercises, the same accessories. Like we don't rotate or anything. Like we're kind of just all at the gym at the same time and like all doing our own thing. So in that aspect, I feel more accomplished because I like, not like showing off, but I like the energy that everyone brings towards each other. So I would say more accomplished, but I would probably feel less accomplished if I had someone like working in with me, if that makes sense. Because when people work in with me, it slows everything down. And I like going at my own pace. Like I don't like being rushed. I like being rushed by myself, but not by other people. So there's that also. But it also just takes so much more effort to be rotating with people, like loading weights, unloading weights, wait if they take longer than you want them to, whatever. So more accomplished when my besties are in the gym around me, less accomplished if I had a bestie training in with me. This person, anonymous, says, Bella is the most beautiful woman I've ever laid my eyes on. What does she look for in a man? We have a whole podcast episode about things that we've talked about, like girly talk type things, where we talked about like what we look for in guys and everything. You need to be strong as fuck, and you need to bench where she deadlifts, basically, and just be hot and sexy and confident. Women like a confident man. That's really big. Like you can be ugly, but like if you're confident, like something about that confidence like will attract a woman, guaranteed. Next, okay, another anonymous. How to respectfully approach my gym crush, or should I try outside the gym? Again, I have an entire podcast episode on shooting your shot. I should make like updated episodes because one of my first ever, I think it was like my 4th episode that I ever made was how to shoot your shot at your gym crush. Respectfully do it in the gym. Okay, let me just go back and do this. Let's see. So if you have a gym crush, you go up to them and you give them a compliment on like something not like overtly sexual or anything. Like tell them like, hey, like I see you grinding in here, like you have a great work ethic, keep it up, something like that, right? Give them like a nice compliment like that. Tell them your name and then just say, okay, I'll see you around. Like don't ask for a phone number, don't ask what are you doing later, nothing. Give them a compliment, tell them your name, and walk away. This goes for girls to guys and then guys to girls, either way. When you walk away, that gives them that fleeting moment of like, oh, where are they going? Like they're gonna compliment me and then just leave. Like what the fuck? Like as someone, like I can imagine myself receiving that and then I'd be like, what the fuck? Like they're not gonna try to pursue me type of thing. It's almost like a reverse psychology, right? If you come on too strong, you might scare that person. But if you come on to them and just say like, compliment, tell them your name and then leave, they're gonna be like, well, do they want me or do they not want me? More than likely. And then after that, you can go in like a day or two later and then give them another compliment, and then maybe from there see how the energy is feeling, and then from there try to pursue and be like, oh, you know, maybe we can do something outside of the gym. Always plan to do something outside of the gym, because I want to develop, you know, relationships with people outside of the gym, and I need to see if you have more of a personality than just going to the gym, or like I would need to see if you have more than I would need to see if you have a personality outside of the gym. So always recommend to do something outside of the gym. And yeah, that's how you answer that. Okay, last question. Slay, another anonymous. As a girl, it's so hard to find girlfriends at the gym. Sad face. Half the time they're the, quote, I don't want to sweat girls or mean girls. Any advice? This is sad, because this is definitely like a commercial gym type of vibe I'm already getting from this question. See, it's so hard because I found it was so easy for me to make friends at Corrupted, because we all go to the Corrupted and have like the same energy, the same goals or similar goals, and we all train very similarly. So it was very easy for me to approach Bella and ask her to teach me how to fucking low bar squat, and then us become besties after that. But if you're in a place like a commercial gym where you can't really read people's energy, you don't know what they're training for, if they're training hard at all, whatever, it's a little harder. But I would say you can approach it the same way. You can see if someone's doing something that like you're interested in, or again, the whole thing with shooting your shot at a gym crush, you can shoot your shot with a friend like that. You know, if you tell a girl like, hey, oh my God, I love your matching set, or like, oh my God, like I see you hip thrusting 500 pounds, you're so strong, whatever. A compliment goes a long way, whether it's like a flirtatious comment or even just like a trying to be friend compliment. Like compliments go a very, very far, like a very, very long way. So I would say always start with a compliment with someone like that, and then just try to feel it out, see how it goes from there. If they give mean girl energy, then fuck them. You don't want to be friends with them anyway. But odds are, majority of people majority of adults, like as a 24-year-old woman, like people this age want to make friends. Like I find it very rare. Let me backtrack. If you put yourself in a public setting like that on a regular basis, like going to the gym consistently, it would be very hard to put yourself in that situation and admit that you don't want to make any fucking friends at the gym. That would be a little weird to me, because if you go to the gym on a consistent basis like that, and then you'd be a fucking dickhead to whoever comes up to you, like why are you not just training at like a fucking apartment gym with no energy, with no people around you, or like at a home gym or some shit like that? So think about the fact that most people that go into public settings like that on a consistent basis are looking to make friends, or at least not even looking for, but like would be open to making friends. I think that that's pretty reasonable. Like that's a pretty reasonable assumption or like conclusion to come to. So, yeah, I would say that majority of women at a gym like that would be open to becoming friends with other women. But that's also me being optimistic and me, you know, being like, oh, girls support girls, you know, whatever. Again, if they're giving you weird energy, ignore them. You don't want to be friends with that anyway. But be, again, confident in yourself. Go in with a compliment. See it how it is. Feel it out. Ask to follow each other on Instagram, you know, whatever. And just see where it goes from there. You know, shoot your shot at the girlies. Because there's nothing better than like girl on girl friendships. Like me and Bella tonight are going to go see Barbie, and I'm so excited to sob my eyes out, like be hysterical, because I already know, I've already seen so many TikToks about like the meaning behind the movie, like the deeper meaning and everything. And I'm just so fucking excited to sit there and just like reflect on being a woman and being a girl going through like this life, and reflect on like my childhood self and like my relationships with other women. And I'm just going on such a tangent right now, but being a woman and being friends with other women is so fun and so beautiful. So I would just like to think that women in public settings want to be friends with other women, because there's literally nothing more beautiful than like women supporting and uplifting other women. That's the end of my fucking rant. So I think I'm done there. Next week I will come in with a review of the Barbie movie, and I'll let you guys know how much I cried. But yeah, I think that that's literally the end of this episode, you guys. Oh my God, this is an hour-long episode. I finally made it. I feel like I haven't had like a long episode in quite a while. But yeah, if you made it to the end of this, thank you for listening. I hope you guys took something from this. I really like doing these types of episodes because it's, you guys feed me the content. It's not just me sitting here thinking of what the fuck to talk about. So I like being fed content like this. So I'm going to get better at posting this link every week just so I can at least end episodes with this little segment of like Ask Adri. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. Like I said, I'm going to go see Barbie tonight. I don't have very many plans for this weekend. Oh, but next weekend, I'll tell you guys what we're doing in next week's episode next weekend. I'll tell you guys in next week's episode what we're doing next weekend. I'll catch you guys then. As always, please continue following me, continue supporting me. If you're a person that loves me and loves my content, liking, commenting, sharing with other people, it goes such a long way. Again, thank you so much for the 100,000 followers on Instagram. I promise I'm very appreciative of it. I just hate being like very numbers focused because sometimes it just, gets to my head. But I really do appreciate it because 100,000 followers is a lot of people. And I think I try to downplay it because I think a part of me is like, oh, half of it is like robots or like stupid spam accounts, whatever. But even then, it's 100,000 accounts that found my page and decided to follow it for some reason. So it's still a number to be proud of. So I thank you guys every day for that from the bottom of my heart because I would not be in the position that I am right now without the following that I have and without the love and the support that I have. So thank you all for that. And yeah, I'll just continue doing what I do, putting out the content for you guys because I love doing it and I love doing it for you guys. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Love you all. I'll talk to you guys next week. As always, it's your girl. Goodbye.